Good afternoon everyone, it's Krebs here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to land your plane at over 200 kilometers an hour when you are in a domination map. So that is in particular when you just want to cap the point and then get the hell on out of there. Okay, you're not going to be landing and stopping, you're going to be getting the hell on out of there. And why am I doing this? Well, it's due to frustration and also want to teach you guys something. So a common thing that I see with a lot of newbies, and something that I did myself early on in this game, was I would try to capture an airfield. Say at the beginning of a domination match, you'd try to capture an airfield, but you wouldn't be able to because you'd think, oh well, generally speaking, the safest way to land on an airfield is to be less than 200 kilometers an hour. But because you would do that, that means a lot of your teammates would be able to cap it before you. It's not only that at the beginning of a match, but also in other desperate situations, such as the enemy is closing in. They've got about 4 kilometers till they reach you, and still that gives you enough time to try to cap the airfield. If you try to decrease your speed to less than 200, you'd be a sitting duck, and the opponent would be able to kill you. What you'd want to do is try to cap the airfield at about 400, 500 kilometers an hour, whilst you still have speed, so you can quickly get back on it into the air, have that airfield captured, and then you'd still be able to keep on fighting. So I'm going to be showing you how to actually do that. Okay, right, so how are we going to get this started off? I think we'll start off with actually talking about the physics behind it. Okay, so what you'll notice, this is arcade battle. This is not historic or full real battle, so there's no overly complicated controls. When you're on your landing flaps, hold on here. My flaps are being raised at the moment. As you can tell, the back flaps on the back of my wing have been raised. That's going to allow me to take off and gain speed easier. Whereas, if I change my flaps to takeoff, which are the same as almost as landing flaps, they actually get an increased length, and they also get pointed downwards. You'll notice this when you look at the flaps. So raised, they go back to normal, and takeoff, which is the same as landing, they get extended and also go towards the ground. That means that what you have is you get increased drag as the airflow goes over it. You get increased drag, but at the same time you generate more lift. So the whole point behind the landing flaps is that you want to use them when you're actually trying to land and become stationary, not when you want to cap at a very fast speed. So the take-home message at the very beginning of this tutorial is do not use your landing flaps when you're trying to cap an airfield at a fast speed, okay? We're going to be on our raised flaps at all times. Okay, so let's go ahead on into the air. What I'm going to do in this video is show you guys how to land effectively at a high speed, you know, 400, 500 kilometers an hour, possibly even more in arcade battles. Mind you, you can't do this in historic battles or full real battles, or else your gears are going to be coming off your actual wheels. But this is just an arcade battle. And what I'm also going to be showing you guys later in the video is some demonstrations of this in an actual domination match. Okay, so we're just gaining some speed. I'm just going to be getting as much elevation as I can, not too much, but what I want to do is gain enough elevation so that when I come on down, I'll have about 400, 500 kilometers an hour to actually land. So generally speaking, a lot of people like to say that the best way to land is to be at 200 kilometers and below, and I totally agree. If that's what you want to do when you're trying to become stationary, to go to a standstill and reload or get repaired, I totally agree. But if you just want to cap, be really fast, then you can go a lot faster, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that just now. So making on the turnaround right now, we got 300 fast and climbing very fast to 400, still going. I don't even care how fast I'm going to be going, even if I'm at 600, we're still going to attempt it. And now I'm taking my gears down, G, I've still got about 500, 550, and what you're going to be doing is using your shadow to judge this. Okay, so I'm going to be making the turnaround now, and I'm going to be going at whatever speed, whether it's 300, 400, 500, even 600, doesn't matter, we're going to be able to land this. So a take-home message that you want to take here is that you're going to be using your shadow to judge when you're actually touching the ground. So my gears are going down, we're getting at about 550 kilometers an hour. And what you want to do is you want to level out, use your shadow to judge, and touch lightly, touch lightly. You can see I'm touching. I've got a lot of rumbling going on because my plane has been touching the ground at a very high speed, and that's how you can tell you've just landed at a high speed. Notice how that my speed was still a very, very high rate, about 400 kilometers an hour there, and that allowed me to not even care about landing flaps to generate more lift and get back in the sky. I had so much speed already, I could just keep on going. Okay, so we'll make another pass over here, and I'll show you guys again. So as I was saying, you want to be using leveling out and using your shadow to judge when you're touching the ground. Use your mouse to level out, okay? Do not use W, which is to point yourself downwards at all. Do not use W, or else you're going to crash your propellers into the ground. That's the last thing that you want to get going here. You want to level out your mouse. See? Level out. You can see the rumbling. You can see the rumbling. That would be a capture happening right there in a domination match. Okay, and easy stuff. Kept my speed. It's no problem at all. So one more time, just for for the third time, and I'm just gonna land properly now. So decreasing my throttle. And if you actually want to land properly, then here we go. Let's get our landing flaps on. Get some drag generated here, allowing me effectively to almost glide in a way. It's allowing me to, yeah, as you can see, generate lift and just glide. Now I'm just going to take my flaps off, and I'm going to just touch down, put B on, which is my brake, start using S to level myself out and not tip over forward. And there we go. That is how you land at high speed. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some real world examples in domination matches.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.